He nods and just walks off. Like, God, why do I put up with this shit?
For the 1 gold a year, that's why.
Yeah. Well, he's Royal Guard, so it's probably 5 gold a year.
Yeah. He should be a barkeep. He gets 8 silver tip.
I know, right? So what are you doing? You were woken up really early, dragged halfway across the city just to be let go.
I guess I would just head to the nearest inn, have some breakfast, and then...
All right. Well, that really nice inn is real close. You know, the 10
the one I
silver
just
a night.
shafted.
Yeah. 10 gold a night.
I guess I'll head there again.
Okay.
And
So yeah, you walk in. There's commotion. Saying, I can't believe that happened. I didn't hear a thing. That kind of stuff.
I just kind of head up to the barkeep and order me some breakfast.
All right. 2 silver will get you steak and eggs, or if you want something cheaper like porridge, it's like 5 copper.
I take the porridge.
Wow.
Hey, he's a frugal dwarf.
Yes. And I just start eating, I guess.
All right, you guys basically finish your meal.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
what does
one guy that pointed him out is in the corner and can't really see him.
Oh, they've got their own little room up there?
Yeah, they're in the VIP room.
Yeah, I selected that room. It looked the fanciest. What does Megamillis look like? I don't think we got a description.
Ah,
I mean, I was just looking at his token. I haven't had a description of him or anything. So
kind of looks like a hooded Green Lantern.
Hey!
A what?
Talking by his picture.
Yeah, he's where's my... It's kind of funny that we all have to look at our sheets to get the descriptions of our people.
This was
Yeah, but it's good that you have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically he's not much to look at. He's only 5'3", so he's short. Only weighs just shy of 90 pounds. So, like, well, of course he's wearing his big robe, so it's hard to see that he's actually quite frail underneath. But what you can see through the cloak is he does have unkept, like, black hair. It's almost greasy. He's wearing, it looks like a small leather mask around his eyes. And from what you can see on his hands, every once in a while when he's reaching for something or anything, it looks like he has some odd form of writing or tattoos on his arms and other parts of his body.
What color is the mask?
It is brown. It's just a piece of leather with 2 holes punched into it.
Anything but green.
If I find a green one later, I'm not going to be very... No, I will not wear the green mask or put on the green power ring. No. Yeah, the mask doesn't do, like, it's not huge. It doesn't cover his entire face. It just covers around his eyes, almost like think of like a ballroom mask or something along those lines.
Or the green lantern mask.
No, not a green lantern mask. You people. Yeah, he does have a mask.
So I look over at him. Is it like normal for people to wear stuff like that, like in this world? Like with my knowledge, or is this odd to me?
Some of the higher class will put on those masks so that
okay,
the common rabble don't see their face because they don't want to be dirtied by their looks.
Oh,
that kind of stuff. But that's like the really upper echelon.
Maybe he'll become really powerful, and people will look up to him like a superhero and make stories about him with his mask and his Magic.
solving explosion murders.
Oh, Lord. No, I have to keep a low profile. That's why I wear the mask.
We're just messing with you.
No. So I'm gonna look around. Did they bring back the shady dwarf from last night yet? I mean, are these guards that, you know? It's like, wow.
Well, like you said, it seems like he was exploded. It was magical, probably his magic. It's not murder or anything.
Well, I gotta check though. You can't be. I can't have a dwarven exploder running around blowing people up. I mean, well, it's not technically my responsibility, but if we win this tournament and I get a title, then it might come back to me at some point that I allowed a dwarf exploder to run around murdering innocent people.
Yeah,
What are you worried about
you
that
look around,
for? That's
you'll
not
see
our.
the dwarf at the bar eating his porridge.
That's not our worry. I'm more worried about you joining the team. What kind of experience do you have? You look kind of scrawny. I mean, can you handle yourself?
Well, what is he drinking right now? Are you
What am I
drinking?
drinking?
Yeah, you drinking just ale or?
Oh, I'm drinking ale. Yeah, I got a mug of ale. This is my second mug. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking water from a flask.
Yeah, water. Water's for elves.
From
How
a
do I look
flask.
at him? What race does he look like?
I'm obviously human. I don't have pointer ears.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'm human too, but
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
said that's worth looking.
Yeah, he does. I'm not hiding my race. I'm not hiding, who I am. It's matter of fact, the mask probably is very ineffective.
I
at
was
most
curious.
cases.
I was curious, so I would know. So okay.
Yeah. Well, let's just say you see that cup of ale you're holding there.
Of course, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead.
And I drink out of it.
I gotta make it explode in his hand.
No, I'm gonna make it taste really bitter. I'm gonna wave my hand. Go ahead, taste it.
I taste it.
It's really bitter, but it's kind of a nice bitter.
Nice bitter.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like a sewage water ale before. Now it's more like a berry tart ale now. It's kind of hard to describe.
Spiced.
Yeah.
I say, wow, look at the mug. And,
Probably not the.
man, that's
what you
that's
were
pretty
looking
good,
for.
man. You should probably talk to them about doing it to the rest of their stash.
See, I'm very useful, and I get up and walk away.
What's the wait? While I was walking away, what does that have to do with combat? I want to know if you can handle yourself in combat. We're going into a tournament.
Tensai speaks up and
What's
says,
your back?
Tensai speaks up and says, "We can decide this in the training grounds if you want. We can head over there and test them."
Unfortunately, any test of my abilities would be a waste of my inherent power, and it would. Sure, I can prove to you that I'm useful, in such things. But you have to trust that I blow things up. That's what I do.
I don't want to test. I was just curious of your background. For example, I was in a dwarven military unit, with an elite rescue unit, back in the wars in the Darkwing Mountains.
And so, Zach,
I've had much experience.
You hear this
I was
like
just
slurred,
curious of your experience.
the slurred guy arguing, but more like he's agreeing with, while arguing at the same time, this masked individual
The masked man.
over at the door to the VIP area.
Tensai speaks up and says, "Well, I've got 87 wins in a row. If that matters."
Of course, I'm not questioning your experience. I'm only wanting to know his background.
Can I hear what they're talking about?
Well, they're not exactly being quiet.
I've done my share of exploring and adventuring in these lands, and I've had my share of friends who've been lost.
Ah, so you've done some adventuring, and that's what I was curious over your experiences. I only want to know that I'm with someone who's experienced and can handle themselves.
Well, when the time comes, I assure you, any opponent that's in front of us will properly be disposed of by exploding.
All right. If Uzi's good with it, I'm fine with it.
So
Uzi
yeah,
shrugs.
Zach, you hear this conversation over there about this masked individual talking about how he explodes people. Then earlier today, you got woken up by a guard who said that somebody was exploded, pretty much.
Okay. Well, I approached them then, and I guess asked if they had heard what had happened here. Or did he say what inn that occurred at?
The inn you were at earlier that day, so
Oh, so I
probably
would
this
know.
one.
Okay, so yeah, I approached them and asked them, "Hey, I heard you guys talking about what had happened here. Someone had woken me up, and well, I don't know. What did you guys hear?"
Is it the shady dwarf from last night?
Yeah.
I kind of take a step back.
You want to describe what your character looks like, Zach?
Sure. I am a dwarf, as you know. I'm not as bulky as normal dwarfs, but I am wearing some chainmail, I think. Yes, and a shield and warhammer, I believe. Yes.
You know what I love about this program is I can actually watch you switch between tabs in your character sheet.
That's cool. I just have my
Like
whole.
in real time.
I've got the whole thing up, so I just scroll.
Sorry, just go ahead.
Tell me something. Do you know how to make people explode?
Tenside leans
No.
back and looks.
Well, that's good enough for me. We
Why
just had
did you ask?
Well, because somebody last
It's the
night
second time someone has asked me this today.
in this very inn upstairs, an individual exploded in his sleep, and as much as I believe that it was due to his dealings with demons, I had to be checked that you weren't some master exploding dwarf that ran around blowing people up.
Interesting.
It sounds odd, but they do exist.
It sounds odd that the person who blows people up is trying to find someone else to blame for this murder.
How?
Don't be silly. If I blew somebody up, would I tell everyone that the person was blown up?
Tensai's thinking.
Let's just say that
counting on his fingers.
let's just say that the answer is no. If I blew somebody up, I wouldn't make it look like I blew somebody up. Instead, I'd make it look like they did anything other than being blown up. Or I wouldn't leave anything left to actually see, Like, I'd completely evaporate the body and disintegrate it and then leave a note behind. But I didn't do that, did I?
So it appears to you guys that he's put some thought into this.
Yeah, Tensai speaks up and
Now
says,
you're telling me you would completely disintegrate somebody and leave a note behind. That's what happened to my other friend.
That is a
did,
massive,
He's
massive
gone and I
coincidence.
found a note.
That is a
Tensai,
massive coincidence.
Tensai speaks up and says, "Well,
A massive coincidence.
that could all be a part of your plan. You could have did nothing about it and then said you would have done something about it and then not actually do something about it, which then makes us think you didn't do it and then tell us that you would have done it the different way, but maybe, well, never mind."
But I have my friend, the dwarf here, to be my witness that I did no such thing. He's seen me here last night, out to the late hours, writing in my book, and I have the maid as a witness that I went to bed shortly thereafter.
Well, either way, I can.
You're gonna use the dwarf that you were just accusing of blowing somebody up as your witness.
I asked
What do
him
you
if he
say?
blew anyone up. I didn't accuse him. I just asked. You can trust me. If I was going to dispose of people for nefarious plot, I wouldn't blow one person up and then disintegrate another. I'd either disintegrate both of them or blow them both up.
Tensai sits there thinking for a second and starts counting on his fingers again. looks at the dwarf and it's just like, could he be the fourth? Looks over at Crunk.
Could it be the fourth?
The fourth.
He is a dwarf, and that would offset us a little bit and give us a little bit of muscle.
How tall is?
I'll look over.
How tall
I'll
is
look
the
over
dwarf
at him.
compared
Yeah.
to
So we.
Mega?
Yeah. So let's. I know I'll look at him and look him up and down and see what I see.
He's a dwarf. He's probably as wide as I am tall.
He's 4'2", 144 pounds.
Okay.
I say. I look over at him and say to him in Dwarvish. What clan are you from?
Zach.
The Lightweavers, I respond in Dwarven.
The Light Weavers?
Light.
Light Weaver clan? I've heard of you. And then,
How do you know? You're a human, right?
yeah, I'm human.
I kind of look at you like puzzled and like, how do you speak Dwarvish?
When you look at me, you see obviously like I have a medallion like hanging around my neck, and since you know Dwarvish, you can recognize it as like a Dwarven like military medallion with ranking on it.
Tensai
noticing that, oh, you served in the military.
Tensai looks over at. Tensai looks over at Mega and says in Elvish, "Can you understand that?"
I'd shake my. Why are you people speaking gibberish? We are. Common is the city where we are in a city full of common speakers. So please do not speak languages. I can speak a dead language too to myself.
I say it's hardly a dead language, but it is rather rude of us in common. So let's carry on. Let's carry on this conversation where everybody can hear. And so yes, I served in the.
Wait, what did you say, Zach?
I respond in Elvish. Actually, I do.
Tensai just looks back and then goes back to his food.
You know, if I'm to trust you all, you got to stop speaking in odd languages. That's the type of thing that people who consort with demons do. They speak in weird languages.
Dwarven is hardly a weird language.
Well, how am I supposed to know you're speaking Dwarven if I don't speak Dwarven?
I was only greeting him in common tongue because he's a brother. It's nothing. I'm not trying to be rude. We'll carry on in common. And I look over at him in common and I say in common, I served with a Dwarven rescue unit, healing and during the Orcish War in the Deepwing Mountains. I grew up in Tormach, and Tormach's like the name of a Dwarven fort in the Deepwing Mountains. It would probably be in your knowledge if you're a dwarf. And I say I'm Crunk Strangebeard. And when I made up the last name Strangebeard, like it's kind of like I made it as like a dwarvish bastard name, so it's supposed to be like kind of like in Game of Thrones, like what's his name, Jon Snow. So you get the name Snow as a bastard name, so you'd know that it was like a dwarvish bastard name that I had. So that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I say
But I'm human,
thank
obviously.
you for your service, I guess.
Tensai asks, what's your name?
Me?
Yes. Yes. You. Name. Yes.
I am Varric.
Varric?
Yes.
Tensai nods.
And who are all of you?
It's
Uzi. Tensai Uzi.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Well, it seems this business with the exploding and whatnot seems to have resolved, so...
exactly. It's best to leave it
I
behind.
guess I'll be on my way. I'm headed to the arena, actually. And then I start walking out.
Varric, have a seat. We need to speak with you. And it has nothing to do with people exploding. That type of business has to be completely put out of mind of everyone at the table.
Sure. And I'll go over and take a seat.
Obviously, you and Krunk have some strange spiritual connection. You're chatting like old ladies. And Tensai has a very valid point. We're short a person, and the day is getting shorter than long, and we need to figure out who we're going to have to fill our fourth slot for our team for the upcoming tournament. Now, I assume that you haven't heard of the tournament.
Well, no, actually, I'm here to join the tournament. You guys are all in it?
Yes. You're actually looking at the team that's planning on winning the tournament.
Well, I don't
imagine
think
all
any
the teams
teams
playing
are
in the
planning
world.
on losing, but
Tensai
I
laughs.
can assure you that this tournament is far from legitimate in some corners, and most of the teams know that they're going to be losing. It's just a matter if they lose their lives in the process or not. But that's neither here nor there. You're planning on joining the tournament. You obviously have some decent skill set. You're very frugal, it seems, in your choices of meals there, and we do need a fourth person, and I think Tensai has taken a liking to you.
What kind of weapon again? It's a
Warhammer.
Warhammer? Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
same as Krunk?
I got a Warhammer, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just checking.
Okay, well, if I could be of service, I tend to heal. I'm a cleric. If you could use me, I would love to join you.
I'm a Ramu.
Shoot, I forgot who my god is. I follow the teachings of Bahamut.
Ah. We have much in common, you and I, and I'm sure we'll be good friends. I like him. I suggest bring him along with us. He's a dwarf. We're bound to win.
Indeed.
And while
Tensai,
they're doing that, I'm checking. You do see you see Vega Millis roll up his sleeve, and it seems he has a lot of writing on it, and he's just looking down this writing on his sleeve while looking at the three of you individually.
Tensai brings up, well, really it's up to John at the end. He should be here soon, so if we want to just wait until he comes here and just talk, have another drink. Krunk, you probably want another drink, right? Yes? Yes?
I'll take another one, sure.
Well, I can't buy one for you, but yeah,
Yeah, I'll buy you one.
alright.
Whatever you want, it's on me. I'll buy a round for all of you guys. It's on me, guys. What was I gonna say? I'm 100% sure your manager's gonna be fine with this, because where are we gonna find any other two people? This is the team, and I think we should go ahead and start our planning. And
So as you're saying that, John walks up behind Uzi, kind of looks at all of you. Ah, I see you found a fourth already.
Well,
He kind of fell into our laps.
unless you have somebody who's better off, but yeah,
I just kind of give a wave. Hello.
He nods at you, and it's like, excellent. So this is the group we're going to use.
Yeah, we have a slight advantage. We have 3 direct melee fighters. We have 1 support artillery. We have 2 healers along with us, which will really help out, and we should have a good shot.
He nods and says, good. Because they're seeding you to the second match.
Tensai nods as if he expected it.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Means you can either be fighting against the Eastern guy, or I think his name is Lord Barnabas.
Barnabas.
Would Tensai know him at all?
Do I know within? Yeah.
Yeah,
We
he's
do knowledge checks or something.
he's pretty well known in the arena circuit, which Uzi's very familiar with. He's hails from the north. He's a young lord of a barbarian tribe.
Okay.
He favors two-handed weapons.
Alright. So, how many matches are in the tournament against Sendo? Like, how many until the...
There are 20 teams altogether.
Yeah, well, what's the, like, the ladder style? How many wins do we have to do
Well,
to get to the finals, for example?
Usually, if you lose in the arena, you're dead.
Yeah. How many wins do we need to get to the finals, is what I'm saying.
Let's see, you're seeded once. 3 wins.
Okay.
And then it's the grand finale.
Yeah. And
So how
that's...
does this work exactly? This is my first tournament. Is it a team 4 versus 14?
He kind of smiles and he's like, well, there can be up to 8.
Wait, 4 versus 8.
You'll be fine. You have Uzi.
Uzi smiles.
Well, why do they
It's
get
just
8
that
when we
the
only get
more
4?
people
What kind of
we
rules are
add
those?
to the team, less money we make.
Speaking of rewards, etc., what exactly, as Uzi's representation, that I understand is between Uzi, but since you'll be officially sponsoring the team, what kind of percentage are you looking at directly?
Well, he just kind of smirks and says, I obviously get a fair portion. Housing you, feeding you, and supplying you with gear.
Yeah, speaking of gear, yes. How does that work? What do you supply us with?
I believe we discussed this last time. I am having my smith work on a new hammer for you.
Oh, okay. I don't remember the conversation. That must have been the. Ooh, that's some strong stuff.
Oh,
to drink
you've been
last time.
drinking profusely.
At least I
And
can
even
handle
though
my
it's
drink.
7
Not
o'clock
like
in the
Uzi.
morning, I could see that you're still drinking, so... He just kind of chuckles.
Of course.
He says, our fight is tomorrow at 5. I'll be making sure that the blacksmith has your hammer ready. If anyone else needs anything, please let me know.
How many days does the tournament span?
It's over the course of 10 days.
Okay.
Basically,
I
2
have
fights
a-
a day.
I have a leather. I have a set of leather armor that was being made for my friend that should be ready today, but I don't know if any of you would have any use of it because obviously Mordecai can no longer use it. Is anybody interested in some leather armor?
He kind of thinks, he's like, it was for a mage, right? And then he looks right at the masked Mega Millis.
Is it leather or is it of another material?
It's hide.
It's leather. Something leather. It's the wolf skins we had.
It's fur.
I might be interested in it once I have a look.
Basically, it's attached to regular leather armor, and it gives an extra 1 AC.
Okay.
And keeps you warm in cold conditions.
Oh. So it's more like a cloak than armor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
The
Well.
Tanner couldn't really do much, considering how crappily it was
Collect
harvested.
it.
Yeah, I kind of butchered it. Butchered the wolves when I skinned them, but nobody else was even willing to try, man. I got some shish kebabs out of it and stuff, too, though.
Sure. I'll have a look.
What was your name again? John?
Jean.
John.
Jean.
Sorry, it's hard to pronounce.
It's
on my
Jean
keyboard, John.
Louis.
Jean-Louis.
Could you pay for my porridge and room, please? If that's what you do.
He smiles and says, yeah, sure.
Thank you. That was all, really.
I say yes. He takes care of us very well. He set me up in a very nice room here last night. We drank and ate. He takes care of us pretty well. I don't think there's anything to worry about with the rewards if he's taking a cut.
Yeah. Tensai just goes back to, like, drinking and whatnot, and that's basically it.
All right, if you guys want, we could skip forward unless you want to do something.
I don't mind skipping forward.
No, that's fine.
Okay, can we do it?
Yeah, I was about to say.
We could do a break real quick and then skip forward.
Perfect. All right.
Sorry for our last break.
Yeah, it should. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be taking a quick 5 to 10 minute break. Stick around for the final hour coming up soon. And yeah, should get a little more interesting. All right.